Welcome back to the News at 10. Now, joining me on the News at 10 is Senator Melaye, who can be referred to as one of the senator-elects of like minds and a strong supporter of the Senate President, Bukola Saraki. Thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10. Well, you're a very strong supporter of Senator Saraki. How would you describe what transpired in terms of how he emerged as Speaker or as Senate President? Senator Melaye, if you can hear me, I was asking how you describe the process in which the Senate President emerged. All right, I think we're having some trouble hearing Senator Melaye. Let's move on and see if you can re-establish contact with him. Now, most states' houses of assembly have been inaugurated as well, and the message for the newly inducted lawmakers is a cordial relationship with the executive. Our correspondent, Sheung Okimbaloye, monitored the conduct of the process in Ogun, Delta, and Enugu states.
New week, a new order emerging in the legislative life across the country. As that bell is sounded, everyone makes way for the clank of the Enugu State House of Assembly. And from the countenance on the face of the Sergeant-at-Arms and the clerk, it is clear a real business will go down in the hallowed chamber. It is the inauguration of the state's sixth assembly. First on the plate, the election of the Speaker of the House. The nomination is made and Honorable Edward Obosi is elected. Status change.
Who solemnly swear an affair.
He's then dressed as the Speaker of the House. As he takes his seat, the elected members takes oath of office. Away from the southeastern state of Enugu to Delta State in Nigeria's South-South region, a similar event is taking place. The clerk of the House reads out a proclamation of the governor, Senator Ifeanyi Nokowa, in inaugurating a new assembly.
That the person elected as the governor of the state shall have power to issue a proclamation.
Then their commitment to service. That done, the process of electing the leadership of the House commences, and in the end, Honorable Monday Ubuya emerges as Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly. The wave of legislative inauguration did not stop in the South-South and the Southwest state of Ogun State. Similar thing is happening. The chamber filled to capacity, guests and elected members dressed for the occasion. Anxiety of who will become the Speaker of the House fills the room. Then the process gets underway, and in the end, Honorable Suraj Adekunbi returns as the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly.
Coming on again as the Speaker of the 8th Legislature. Please let us appreciate Mr. Speaker.
A new dispensation begins. A harmonious working relationship between the executive and legislature is a question on the table now.
We have to jointly serve our people under a practicable and realistic principle of separation of powers and checks and balances. The expectation of our people is high. We all must realize that the man on the street does not distinguish between the executive and the legislative arm of government.
A three-arm composition of government is what is obtainable in Nigeria across the federal and state levels. The inaugurations are essentially a sound of a whistle for the race to begin. Finishing well should then be the target of everyone who has taken oath of office. Sheung Okimbaloye, Channels Television News.
All right, I understand we can now speak with Senator Melaye, member, Senator-elect of like minds in the Senate. Hello, Senator Melaye.
Yes, good evening.
Fantastic. Well, you were one of the strong supporters of Senator Saraki. How would you describe the process through which he emerged?
strict obedience and adherence to the rule of law, and nothing to fault.
Well, the leadership don't seem to think so, and they've actually described what has happened as treachery, and they're threatening sanctions, and they've said, that some of the members didn't show, a high level of discipline and etc. How do you react to that?
It is actually treacherous to describe what we did as treachery. What we did is in compliance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and other extant rules and laws of this country. There is no violation of any law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is a contest, it is democratic, it is political, strategies must be employed, and two people indicated expression of interest, and one person must get it. Every rule, every constitutional provision was respected. Procedures were followed. So I don't understand where indiscipline comes in. And it is expressly stated and stipulated that the election of the Senate President must be done on the floor of the Senate. If it's done if it's done anywhere except the floor of the Senate, then it's null and void. In fact, it's a mockery of the provisions of our extant rules. Okay,
Senator Melaye, I spoke earlier with the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Robert Clark, and he actually had a different view, because what he said to us on the news at 10 was that the House had not yet been inaugurated, and so that particular quorum could not have been formed at that time, and so what you have done is unconstitutional. You don't agree with that, obviously? The learned person must have been speaking from a point of ignorance, because he's not a senator, he's a senator elect. He may not become the rules of the Senate, but that is very constitutional. Quorum of Senate is 38, and we have 70-something senators that participated in the entire process. So I've been speaking from a very point of view. All right, thank you so much, Senator Dino Melaye, for joining us tonight on the news at 10.
Thank you.
Let's take a break from all the politics. We'll be crossing over to the world of business, where Emana Amabe will be joining us shortly.
Abu Ibrahim, Kassina Umaru.
You first.
Hello and welcome to Business News. To ensure stable electricity supply in various communities in the country, the federal government plans to explore the use of renewable energy sources such as solar. The government has embarked on a training program for Nigerian youths to install and maintain solar power facilities built under its Operation Light Up Rural Nigeria. In the meantime, the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria has set up a training scheme for electricity meter technicians to be employed in meter installation and maintenance across the electricity distribution networks in the country. And the plans to integrate Nigeria's fixed income market on the trading and settlement cycle side is at an advanced stage. This is confirmed by the Financial Market Dealers Quotation, OTC. The market's head of operations, Dipo Odeyemi, explains that the innovation, which is expected to be actualized before the end of the year, will boost markets' data integrity on the platform.
We are working with the Central Bank of Nigeria to integrate the fixed income trading system with the settlement system in the Central Bank. We believe when this is done, we'll have a straight-through processing and we'll just make the market more efficient. We are also signing agreement with the securities, with Central Securities Clearance System, CSCS, to be able to settle non-government bonds or non-government securities through their platform today. And we believe that this will bring new flavor into the market in terms of interest in the market. It will increase the integrity of data from trading to settlement and clearing. And we believe that when this is done, we will see more interest in participation in this market, and it will make life easy for all the participants.
In the meantime, Sky Bank PLC has proposed one new share for every 20 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, and that's at the closure of register. The bank says it's a bonus for its shareholders. At its 9th annual general meeting, the shareholders expressed delight at the performance of the bank and asked the management to do more. Shareholders, directors and other stakeholders at the 9th annual general meeting of Sky Bank PLC. After going through and adopting minutes of the last meeting, resolutions are made and opinions taken. And now, the appointments and elections of some directors.
Voting stops now.
Voting over, the board of directors and the shareholders deliberate on external restructuring. Part of this is the acquisition of Main Street Bank. The management of Sky Bank says the concerns of its shareholders have been taken care of.
We've tried to reassure them that this is an industry that is governed by law, and we have been fully compliant, and the SSA signed the share purchase agreement was signed with AMCON effectively and completely protected their investment.
In all indices, gross revenue, interest income, non-interest income, operating costs will save money even in the face of inflation in the economy.
Shareholders express confidence in the bank's performance.
We have asked them, by giving them a matching order, that next time we are meeting, they must be able to provide about 45 billion naira profit after tax, so that we'll continue to have a robust bank with us, and that shareholders will also be taken care of by paying dividend to them.
With the present situation of things, we believe that by next year it will be better.
If the assurance offered is anything to go by, this acquisition of Main Street Bank by Sky Bank might just be the beginning of better things for the bank's shareholders. Now let's take a look at activities that transpired on the floor of the Nigerian equities market. Bearish sentiments were sustained for a second consecutive day at the local bourse as the all-share index shed 0.29%. Here's Temple Ashaju with details.
Hello and welcome to Stock Market Report. Now, trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange continued in the negative territory as the all-share index shed 0.29% to close at 33,492.17 points. The market capitalization also slipped by the same margin to close at 11.42 trillion naira. Now, losses in the second session of the week is not unconnected to the wait-and-see approach of investors toward the new political atmosphere. Now, Okomo Oil leads the gainers chart with 1 naira 46 kobo share price in advancement, and it's followed by Nescan with 71 kobo appreciation. Now, Dangote Cement is third on the list with 54 kobo gain. Nestle tops the decliners list with 10 naira decline in value, while Mobil lost 6 naira, 30 kobo, and 40 Oil posted 1 naira and 26 kobo loss. The volume boosters for the session include FBN Holdings, which pulled over 32 million units, and Transcorp, as well as Zenith Bank, trading over 31 million units and 26 million units, respectively. In all, a total of 226.19 million shares were valued at 2.74 billion naira, all exchanged in 3,512 deals. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I'm Temple Ashaju.
That's it on the news at 10. I'm Emana Amawe. Stay tuned for global figures from the global markets.
First Bank. You first.
Next on the news at 10, Super Eagles defenders Leon Balogun and William Troost-Ekong hope for official debut ahead of Saturday's 2017 AFCON qualifier against Chad. And that's on sports. Join us again.